What is up, guys? We're in beautiful California. We have a special treat for you guys today. We're at Keiser HQ and we're gonna take you on a tour. We're gonna be talking about engineering. We're gonna be talking about biomechanics. We're gonna be talking about manufacturing. I'm gonna get to jump on some equipment. You're gonna see how this beautiful company, this founder-led organization is changing the industry with a focus on human engineering. I'm super excited to have this opportunity. I'm very grateful for it, and I'm gonna take you guys along for the ride.
So you would have what we call PSI, pounds per square inch.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
So if you had 5 square inches of area on the top, and you put 1 pound of pressure on top of it, you would have 5 pounds of resistance. Right?
Yeah.
So if we put 2 pounds of pressure on top of that 5 square inches, we'll have 10 PSI. And that's how we create force. But it is moved from the gold cylinder, or that resistance cylinder, over to the accumulator cylinder and captured. It's in reserve now. And so when we go and do the negative or the eccentric portion of the exercise, that air hasn't been lost, it's been captured and now is returned to the resistance cylinder again, and therefore we get the eccentric portion of exercise. Cool thing about it, we can take away or add it mid-repetition. We can add more air, so we can do forced eccentrics, or we can do a heavy negative by just the touch of a button. We can do drop sets throughout the repetition or throughout the set even, by just adding and taking away the air. So the air is always a working quality that we can work with, or the material that actually makes the resistance. And since air is weightless, we don't have the inertia momentum that you would have with a weight stack or iron weight. Well, now that you know that you can do speed, you can do power, you can do a HIIT style workout, so it's a metabolic workout. You can do forced eccentrics if you want. So like, for example, Nordic training, there you go. And now it's at the touch of a button. And now you can start with someone that can barely do a hamstring curl.
Right. And a great example for average people that aren't athletic or they're not into working out that much and they're enjoying watching this, a good example is if you've ever seen someone that a car is stuck or trying to get a car moving, you have to like rock it. So like you try to push it, but you could get it to move an inch and you let it back, and all of a sudden you get past that inertia. And now you got velocity, and you can keep, if you keep it moving, if you keep the momentum, like anything in life, if you keep the momentum, you can keep it going. So like that's a good example of like what we're talking about right now. For somebody who's not understanding what we're talking about, it's like that's the difference between the pneumatic system and a regular weight stack.
What this demonstration machine is showing you is a 1-to-1 ratio. So you pull 1 foot or 1 meter, the weight stack is going to go up 1 foot or 1 meter. Okay, just like that. Okay, so this is going to be a 2-to-1. So you're going to pull on this 1 foot or 1 meter. It's going to go up half a foot or half a meter. This is going to be a 4-to-1 ratio. So you're going to pull a foot or 1 meter, it's going to go up a 1/4 foot or 1/4 of 1 meter. Okay? So why that is needed is that there's 2 ways to work out that we understood. There's the amount of resistance that you're moving and how fast you're moving that resistance. Okay, so I want you to stand back and just do like a compound pull. Okay, so I'm going to just get you now to act like you're a rower. Compound movement. We're talking about that flyaway. So that's really not a good piece, right? So as soon as we start to increase the speed of movement. So now we're going to say, okay, so there's 2 things that are going on here. We make the machine more complex because we added more pulleys. And what did we do with the weight stack there to give it 20 pounds?
We had to add more.
We had to add more weight. So
now the cost is going up on pulleys.
Now, iron ain't cheap anymore.
So the actual weight here is like,
it's double.
It's double of the weight.
It's double. You had 1-to-1 here, you got 2-to-1 here.
This is such a great lesson.
Okay, so now we pull on it, and we're doing our nice slow movement, time under tension, because we want to be nice and controlled, and it feels all right. But now I'm going to ask you not to increase the intensity by adding more resistance. It's going to get you to go quicker. And what happens? A little bit better. Little bit better. But still kind of shaky, and it's flying away on you.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're like, okay, not a good piece. All right, let's go get you a better ratio. We know that 2 to 1, 1 to 1 doesn't work for us.
Yeah.
Okay, so now what happened?
Now we got 4 times the weight.
Now we had to double the weight. We had to double the pulleys. Okay, so let's go again. How does that feel?
I mean, it feels better.
Significantly better, I would say.
Yeah, it feels better. Yeah.
So this is where you would see probably a best-in-class pulley-type workout.
Yeah.
With Keiser, since we know the velocity and we know the resistance, we can calculate the power.
Yeah.
With our new display, not only do we show you what that power is, so we have our standard power display, which that's what we called, and our Air 400 now, not only does it show resistance and power, but now shows you velocity, and we'll actually track your range of motion unilaterally.
Wow. It's the most versatile piece of equipment, technology, resistance on the market available.
It is. It's
so multi-dimensional.
It's plastic enough to meet the needs of your newest exerciser, your most deconditioned exerciser, and that's why it's in over like 2,000 retirement communities. Because it's get on and go, super simple, super safe. But then we can go to the polar extreme and go straight to the most powerful, the most expensive athletes in the world, and take them through a resistance mechanism that challenges them and challenges them safely. And if you've got a 95-year-old older adult and a 20-year-old professional athlete, who's in between? Everyone. So there's something for everyone with it, and all it is now is a challenge for your trainers to find out what is going to be the challenge and what is going to be the motivation for their member, their athlete, their resident, their population.
And this is, in my opinion, the greatest high row. It's like there's nothing like it. Just leave the resistance profile out of it, just the mechanics of it, no matter what the load was, just the angle of it, in my opinion, is, I'm absolutely just,
so this is, the biaxial upper back. So it not only comes in a horizontal plane pulling back, but it goes from a medial position to a lateral out position. Now, this will be interesting that what Ryan has just said is we do have a larger unit now that you're going to actually get to test today, which is our Air 300 upper back. So 2 cylinders, but bigger cylinders, so you're going to have more load. Then we also talked about the gamification concept, is that you can take someone, and whether it be a total work score, so you identify that how successful they were on that per day workout and challenge them to come back the next time and beat that, or for them to actually look at the information that they have and take that and retain that as an operator. You're going to get a visit history from them. You're going to get a usage history, and you're going to get to see what are the components of the membership and what is the usage within that piece. Not only does it have an effect for the health club business in regards to very in-depth amount of information that we can extrude, because this is what we do for our performance clientele, but to provide the next components of the business for whether it be gamification or advertisement or membership drives, all that way. But there's another opportunity that is programmable for the operator to actually relate to that member.
Guys, I'm in California and I'm here at Keiser headquarters, and I am the first Canadian to get to try their new deadlift machine. This is an exciting piece. It's a very cool piece. I was just running it through, putting it through the mass, and these are 2 cylinders, independent cylinders that go up to 800 pounds of resistance with a 1,300 pound profile. These are neutral wrist position grips, so it's very similar to like a trap bar. You can adjust these so you can get different heights, so just to meet your requirement of height. And they're also unilateral, so if you wanted to do a single arm row, you can. The really cool part about this, if you've done a traditional deadlift, you've done a trap bar deadlift, you kind of know the difference in the eccentric and the concentric load, and you know at the lockout position, you really get a lot of erectors, you get a lot of quads and not so much glute activation. My glutes were fired up on this. So we're gonna be bringing it into Canada. We're super excited. It's now in production. You guys can get one. You guys have to check it out. I hope you get to try it. Look on the air so far.
A lot of the equipment is built as batch,
Yep.
okay, but we have assembly lines for both the compressor,
Yeah.
okay, and also for the bikes.
Okay.
So the bike line over here is always making M3 bikes, okay?
Yep.
Then we have another, bike line here, which right now it looks like it's making TBTs, okay? Like they started some TBTs. And then typically on the last line, we're making M7s.
Oh, okay, yeah.
All
Yeah.
right.
Yep.
So during high volume, we'll have both of these two lines just making bikes.
Wow.
Okay. So
Very, very cool.
we make 170 bikes a day.
A day.
Yeah.
Wow.
Each person has 5 minutes worth of work that they put into the bike.
Yep.
Okay, so they've got to check what the previous person did, add their 5 minutes of work, and then check it and then pass it on.
Okay.
Okay, and that
Yep.
just goes down the line through 6 stations that way.
Wow.
Okay.
Yep.
Here they're dropping things in bags.
Yep.
And once it puts a part number on it and then drops it on a scale so they know if maybe a bolt was missing, like
Okay.
maybe they didn't put a bolt in or whatever. So that's part of our all.
Wow.
QC. Yeah. This is the extent, just so you kind of get a feel for the quality. Martha's actually putting each magnet in this tester that tests how much magnetic force it has.
Okay.
So these are the things that we go through to ensure that we have the right quality.
Well, that's just amazing. You're breaking it down to the micro and then giving responsibility to that one unit before it moves out, right? So it's like expertise per part. That's pretty cool.
But anyway, station one would grabs the frame, puts it on the bike, on the conveyor, and then starts putting certain things on it. And they put, like I said, then they push it down. Now you can see it's a little bit further along.
Yeah.
Okay, they got flywheel on it, got seat on it, got handlebar. Right here, we'll spin the bike up, okay, all automatically while he's working on something else. So it spins up automatically, charges the computer, gets the computer charged, so now it comes off of that and now he can do the calibration on it. And the wiring goes over here to this board here.
Okay, yeah.
And then from here it goes up and charges the capacitors up in the computer. But if something is wrong in any of that, then we don't know it. So we actually charge it just as if somebody's writing it.
Okay, wow.
Every machine that we make has a cylinder and has an accumulator tank.
Yeah.
Okay? So when you do a stroke here, the air from the cylinder has to go someplace. So it goes into the accumulator.
Okay.
All right? And then this is a special cam, okay, that allows this, because this is a multifunction machine, right? So we don't know what exercise you're actually using. So we don't know if you're going to be working away from your body. If you are, then we want to increase the resistance.
Of
correct?
course, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if we were doing curls, then we want to decrease the resistance. But we don't know what you're going to do, so we keep the resistance exactly the same.
Yeah.
Okay. If you were on our chest press over there, you'd be gaining 30%. It'd be getting 30% stronger as you went out.
Yeah, because you can predict that. Yeah, but there's
But here we don't know what you're going to do.
Yeah.
So basically, a person will assemble the machine mechanically. Then he sends it over here, and Antonio, he's turned around, plumbed it all, got all thumb buttons, got everything working, and now he's,
doing the final
doing the
aesthetics.
final covers. We're going to enter into a dirtier area, right? We're welding, cutting, and doing all that kind of stuff. So we have concrete wall. Behind that wall is all the powder coating, so that's a very clean area.
Yeah.
So now we're entering fabrication.
Yeah.
Okay, it's where we take raw steel and we start cutting it, welding it. This is our largest robot welder. Okay.
Wow.
So it can weld 10-foot items. So he's putting parts in this fixture, and the robot's on the other side welding.
Wow.
So you don't see it. That's why it's protecting you from all this rays and stuff. So it locates every part he puts in there.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So he's not measuring, he's not doing any of that. He just drops the parts in, clamps them, and it welds them.
And it welds them all. Wow.
We're welding, this is the bike.
Yeah.
So on one side, we're welding the main frame.
Yeah.
Okay? On the other side, it's welding the base. So every time he finishes, he gets a base, which is right here.
Yeah.
And he gets a main frame. Every 2 times it rotates, okay? Right now, he's just cutting a straight line, getting rid of all that leftover.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So they'll lift the sheet off and put it over here, and they haven't knocked them out yet. They have little tabs to hold the parts here.
Yeah.
Because we don't want, as the thing is cutting, we don't want something like this to happen, and then the thing runs into here, and we lose a $6,000 head on our cutter. Everything that's made comes through QC.
Yeah.
Okay. So it comes this way. You can see it over here. Joe will go through and check it all out, and then he'll put it over there, and then now it's ready to be painted.
Yeah.
This is grinding and metal finishing. So you can see they're metal finishing some of the aluminum pieces that come in, or that we make.
Can you just refer to that one more time, what you just said? Because that's a really unique piece. That's really, really cool.
It's a recumbent stepper. It's something that we've made for specifically for the retirement market that we're strong in.
Yeah.
And it's essentially exactly what it is: swivel seat, recumbent stepper, walk-through design. Yeah. Does cross a lot of the check marks for anyone that wants to do a seated workout. Yeah. With a really low barrier to entry, it's basically passive resistance. Your leg weight or your limb weight will actually drive the machine. Yeah. So our real easy starting resistance. So no matter the limitation on that individual, they'll be able to use it.
Life-changing design, you know.
I mean, that's everything we do is life-changing.
Yeah, 100%.
Really
it's just I think about like some people, like the barrier to entry to get started. It's like this. You're using your legs, using your back muscles, your shoulder muscles, and your arms. Like, you know, it can be hard to go from a bed to like trying to get motivated, but.
And then they go into the primer booth. Yeah. You got 2 booths that are opposite like this. So he's painting this side, and then on the other side, he's painting this side. So they're painting the top coat right now. Yeah. One person's on the other side, and then he's on this side. Then we come out of the oven, and now it's just cooling down. And then it'll get over there, and then they'll take it down, inspect it. Hopefully it's good. Yeah. And they'll send it.
It looks perfect.
It does. This is what tells us whether everything that we're doing is correct. So this is a dynamometer, and it's spinning it. And then that will verify whether everything that we're making is correct.
Wow. Guys, what a day. It was something, I can't even explain how grateful I am to be here. It was a dream come true. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And there's a lot of stuff that you guys didn't get to see. We actually went back and saw a lot of the engineering procedures, which is really cool. A lot of the new equipment and technology that they have coming to the market. And the highlight of the day is I actually got to sit with Dennis Keiser, who's a trailblazer and a pioneer in our industry. And I got to sit with him for 2 hours and hear the whole story and share my story. We really connected, and I'm very excited for everything that's going to be coming with my brand and with Keiser. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure that you like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.